Well, in a four-game series, Cloud9 just beat Evil Geniuses. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Vulcan to talk a little bit about how that match went. So it wasn't a clean sweep, Vulcan. What went wrong?
Um, in the third game, I think we didn't really know how to execute our draft too well. We thought we could team fight them, and it was pretty hard at a certain point. It was hard to kill the Poppy, and we didn't have a really strong team fight comp. I think we should have split a little bit more, and we could have won, but in the end, we just played wrong, I think.
So, I think a lot of people expected this to be a 3-0. This is, I think, only the second game that you guys have dropped this entire year. Do you think that that's a testament to EG, or just you guys like trying something different that you couldn't play?
No, I definitely think it's EG being pretty good. At the back end of the split, they got a lot better. I think they have a lot of strong players. So we did play bad, yes, but I think it's not too crazy that they took a game off of us since I think they're a pretty strong team right now.
How confident were you going after those first two games? Because they definitely they took the game off of you in game three, but if you had beaten them, the story would have just been that you smashed them, right? Because those first two games were so decisive. So, what were you thinking after that second match or second round?
Um, Honestly, yes, we kind of thought the game three was going to be similar and we would stomp them again and close the series right there, but um, we weren't like too overconfident or too cocky in all fairness. So, I mean, we felt all right. We were saying like just treat this game as if it's game one. Don't get not complacent, but don't play too aggro or don't think it's going to be a free win because we knew EG like came here to play. We know EG's strong. Like we have a lot of teammates that used to play with some of their players, so we knew what they're capable of, and we know they're pretty strong.
Do you think that they are the second best team in the league right now? I mean, obviously they finished second in the split. They did manage to just take this game off of you, but I know obviously there's still some games to go.
Yeah, I definitely think EG will come out of the loser bracket and play us again in the finals. I think TSM could have a shot if they kind of get their shit together, but we never know what to expect with them. So I think for me right now, I'm probably looking at EG, yeah, for the second best team for sure.
Yeah. Do you think EG will have a shot in the finals against you if they make it?
I'd say considering we'll get to see a best of five of them, like maybe probably I think the series could go pretty long too. Maybe we'll see like a full 5 games. Maybe they'll have to show a lot of like there's a lot of their stuff, and we'll have like better preparation going into the match. So I think maybe we'll drop a game again, but I think in theory I think we're coming out on top no matter what.
Yeah. Well, what does this next week look like for you? I mean, how do you guys get prepare?
Honestly, I'm not sure because we don't have very many teams to scrim anymore after especially after the losers bracket finals, I guess. And then I know for sure tomorrow's our off day, so there's that. And after that, I think we're going to be um, scrimming in random days. I think we'll have maybe a few solo queue days because it might be hard to book a few days of scrims. Also, some teams have been avoiding us. They don't really want to scrim us before their match days because it's not good for their moral or something like that. So we might not be able to find good scrims. So I think there'll be some good scrims and then a few solo queue days, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, do you guys have the ability to play with your academy team still? Because I know that that's something that some teams do whenever they're going on to towards the end of playoffs.
Yeah. Well, our academy team's pretty good, so they're in the academy finals right now. They're about to play that next week. Usually we play them for warm up, but I'm pretty sure we talked about maybe playing them a few days if we're not able to book good scrims. So I think we're going to be scrimming them a bit, yeah.
Nice. Well, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow in tomorrow's match?
What's tomorrow? Fly TSM?
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no idea, just because TSM is pretty inconsistent. But I think TSM is kind of struggling, and I could see FlyQuest winning over them. I think Ignar is pretty good at if the game's slow, I think Ignar could shine, and then TSM is most of the time playing slow games. They're not really that good at snowballing, so I think if it's a slow game, Ignar could shine, and I'd give the victory to FlyQuest probably.
Yeah. Well, in the voting for this past week, we saw Reaper get coach. We've seen before that Cloud9 get the all team. I think your name is up right now for MVP. Do you think that you'll have a chance to get it?
I think so, but I feel like Blabber was more impressive than I was. I was kind of the Tam Kench in the background, saving people, but Barber was the one doing the impressive plays. He was really, really good. Like he came out of nowhere, right? He was playing under Svenskeren, and then comes in the spot and plays really, really well. So I feel like both the storyline and also, his play, I feel like Barber deserves it probably over me. But it feels good, I guess, to be in the top 10 still, just because, everyone's voting for Clown players. There's like Jizuke who played pretty well, PoE played well, so it feels good to be up there for sure.
I mean, you mentioned Blabber, but I know the other name that's been in contention right now. I feel like I've heard a lot of is Niski. You don't want to throw Niski in there? He's not
Well,
counted?
he just got solo killed the fourth game.
Okay.
An hour ago, he got solo killed by Jizuke.
Well, votes are
After
already
Ignite.
in, so it's too
Yes,
late.
but I don't want to mention his name after that happened.
Okay,
It didn't
okay.
feel, it wouldn't feel right.
It wouldn't feel right. I got you. He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
well, what is this? What has this split been like for you? Because obviously, the next time I interview you will be really interesting. But before we get to that match, I'm just kind of curious, like, what has it been like for you to come in, especially like, I feel as though you were a no name last year, but this year you come in, there's all this hype about the buyout and the trade and all that stuff, and then the team just gets, absolutely on top of the world. It dominates the rest of the competition. So now, towards the very end of playoffs, looking back, what is it like for you to reflect on sort of the path that you and the team have been on this split?
Yeah. I mean, coming in, like even before our boot camp, I thought we had pretty good players. I thought it would maybe take a while for us to gel together, being young players, a lot of new pieces in the team. So I wasn't too sure what to expect. When we went into the boot camp, we turned out to be pretty good. I think we have a lot of good mechanical players, so it makes sense that we were good from the get-go, I'd say. And then going into the first TL game, I wasn't too sure what to expect. Maybe we play different on stage because we're a very aggressive team, and sometimes very aggressive teams tend to play safer on stage, and then you don't see as much as their strengths rather. So I wasn't too sure, but then we beat Liquid, and every single weekend we got pretty much better instead of getting worse. We weren't stagnating or anything. I think we were improving like throughout the split. So honestly, at the beginning, I wasn't too sure what to expect. I knew for sure we could become a good team, but I was pretty surprised, and I'm still pretty surprised that we were the best that fast, I guess. I thought Team Liquid would still be number one for sure.
How about yourself personally? Because again, I feel like people recognized you were a good player last year, but it's really this year that I feel like people just, definitely consider you the best support in the league, and you obviously placed first in the All Pro with the rest of your team. So, for yourself in your journey as a pro, what has the split been like?
Um, I guess it was a perfect split just because in the last splits, I was on a mediocre team for most of the time. Clutch wasn't really good until like the very end. We were middle of the pack even in going to playoffs. We weren't very good. So, and I've always thought that support's I mean, in general, supports just look better if your team's doing better. So I've always thought, I need to keep working hard. Hopefully, I get a shot at being on a top team, and there I can shine. So it felt really good to come into Cloud9. Um, and always are coming into the split, I had the idea of, last year it was only Core JJ that people were talking about as the best support, and the way I saw it was I want to make it more interesting. I want to be, in the talking, and this split it felt like there wasn't a talk. People were just putting me number one, and it feels really good because I wasn't in the talking at all. The past two splits I wasn't up there, so it feels good to be kind of solidified as the best support in the league.
Did you always feel like you could do this?
Yeah, I always thought with time I can become good. It was just a question of whether or not I can get the experience. Who's willing to give me a shot? Um, will will I want to do this? I wasn't always sure if I want to keep playing League of Legends professionally. Um, but I kind of always thought in the back of my mind that if I'm given a shot, I can perform at the highest level.
Well, because we're speaking of your career, and you said you didn't know if you wanted to even keep doing this at certain points in time. Like, what is this? Is this a checkbox for you? And do you have more to go? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you'd love to win and also move on to international events. But I'm just kind of curious, like in your brain and your mind, as you're thinking about this stuff, where does this place kind of on the checklist of things that you want to accomplish in your career?
Um, definitely the first thing was winning a split, or I mean, it still is, right? I'm not saying it's already in the bag. I don't want to
Yeah.
be doing that, but yeah, the first thing is winning a split, and then the way I see it is if I fail internationally, then maybe, or like if I keep failing, maybe I'll lose the drive, right? So there's always there will always be a new goal, and after winning a split, I'll be looking at semis at Worlds or finals or winning Worlds, and I feel like I always have a higher goal, and I mean after I win Worlds, I guess maybe I won't have one, but maybe I want to win again, right? So um, yeah, it's kind of how I see it. I'll do my one goal, and then I'll just set a higher one, and
Yeah.
hopefully go for it.
Well, is there anything you want to say to any of the Cloud9 fans out there?
Yeah, I've been saying it after every interview, but this is finally the split where Cloud9 wins again, and I hope you guys are excited for that.
Well, thank you so much for the interview, Vulcan. Can't wait to see you guys play next week. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching that interview. You know, one thing about working from home and making all this from home right now, I can showcase some of the things that I have here with me, including this M15 notebook. This is actually something that we've used as we've worked remotely a ton in the past, and it's incredibly powerful and great. You maybe are trying to figure out what you want, if you need something to move around the house right now, or maybe in preparation for going back to school later on. These things are amazing. They're beautiful. They're lovely computers. It can do a whole lot of stuff off of this. This is the M15. They also have an M17 that looks a lot like it. But either way, you can check out this computer and more at the link in the video description. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this little bar to light up here. Yeah, there we go. This lights up and it's customizable. It looks so clean, doesn't it?